morning. Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday service and welcome to our friends online. And it is an overcast day here this morning, and I do not appreciate the crispness because I love summer. No, but this morning was a nice break. I thought, well, we can't go to the river. Well, we could, but we're not going to go to the river, so I guess we'll take care of household chores today. So I guess there's a benefit in that somewhere. So I welcome you and invite you to join me in our morning blessing. Spirit, God, Father, Mother, that which is known by many names, we welcome your presence in this sacred space. May love flow freely through each heart, bringing peace to every mind and harmony to every soul gathered here. We gather this morning to learn and to grow, to remember, to reconnect with the light within ourselves and each other, knowing that the message that Reverend Madge shares with us this morning will land in the perfect way for each of us. And let our time together be guided by truth, inspired by grace, and lifted in joy. Amen. And welcome Reverend Madge to the podium.
Okay, so the title of my message today is, I just saw somebody walking in, is Manifestation Projects. And I don't come up with titles very well. A long time ago, this friend of mine and I, we were working on some lessons and different kinds of things, and he came at it from the opposite direction as me. He would come up with a title. He'd say, "Listen to this," and he'd give me the title. He'd go, "What do you think?" And I think, "What's behind it?" "I don't know. What does that mean?" And then I would come up with content, and he'd go, "Well, what do you call it?" And I'm like, "I don't know." We came at it from different directions completely. It was so fun. And so I was reminded of that this morning when Jerry asked me, "What's the title of your message?" And I came up with it on the spot, like minutes ago.
Good title.
Yeah. All of a sudden it hit me. All right. So astrologically, we're in what's called the Lion's Gate period of time right now. And it's a gate that is due to the fact that this is a time of year. I mean, it's called a gate because of this time of year, the Earth, the Sun, and Sirius, the star Sirius, are all in alignment with each other. Yeah, pretty good stuff, huh? And it's called the Lion's Gate because it happens in the constellation, while the Sun is in the constellation of Leo. So Lion's Gate. It creates a gate, that alignment, and it's in the sign of Leo. So it's said to bring a surge of spiritual energy, heightened intuition, deep transformation, and a powerful time of manifestation. And it started on July 26th and it ends on August 12th. You know, give or take a few hours, given that the Sirius is huge and it's this, universal alignment. I don't think there's any defined lines, but approximately that's the best they can come through with this alignment. But the most potent time of it are the 3 days before and after the August 8th. So the 8th is the apex. So 3 days before and 3 days after is the most potent period of time through this Lion's Gate, with the 8th being the apex. So that's next Friday. Yeah.
Also full.
And it's the full moon. Ooh. So we get a double potency out of it. Yeah. Hang on to your hat. Strap yourself to seatbelt yourself to the chair of life. So ironically, this alignment is on 8/8, the 8th of August. So that is the double infinity sign. And it's the sign of balance and empowerment, the infinity. And then we got two of them. So as you remember in the Tarot card, the Magician card has the infinity sign above its head. So it's very much a part of the magic in life. Interestingly, Sirius is a sun, and it's about twice the size as our sun. It's hard to imagine something that enormous, isn't it? Twice as big as our sun. And it's considered to be the spiritual sun to our sun. And if they're entities, then maybe it's its spiritual leader or spiritual whatever. I liken it to being like the big brother, to our sun. And as they journey through the cosmos together, they pulse ever so, together and apart, probably over thousands of years. This pulse happens between them. And it's believed that during the period of time that Sirius and the sun are pulsing closer together is when humanity has an upsurge of higher consciousness. And I tried to find where are we at in that pulse at this time. I couldn't find it anywhere. But I'd like to believe that we're at this place of closeness and our consciousness is blossoming. It seems to support that. I mean, we're growing in consciousness. And so it makes me think that we're at a period of time where our sun and Sirius are close together. So the big question is what do you do with this energy? And what do you do with the energy of this gate that we're in right now? And it's a powerful time of whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is. So I've just during this period of time, the last few days, had some interesting dreams. I don't know if you guys are experiencing any of those. Are they working dreams? Mine are working dreams. I'm working through stuff. So it's an important time to just really focus on that and work through your stuff. So, so move into it. Lean into the work of whatever this is bringing up for you. So it's a great time for manifestation, as I said, or what I'm liking to call projects and projects that you're working on. So recently I've been working with some of Reverend Jay's information that he created. And I noticed that he doesn't use the term manifestation or manifesting or goal or intentions very often. He most often uses the word or the term projects. And at first, I reworded this to be more what we're used to, goals, intentions. But after seeing it enough times, the word project in his work, it struck me at some point, and I thought, wait a minute, projects, that is what it is. And to reframe it. So most of us, what we're working on or intending or goal really is a project or needs to be. It's not very often that what we're trying to manifest is a one and done. We say the thing and then it happens. I mean, that might happen someday, but it's not happening yet. Not in some ways, we all have manifestation that happens faster, but for the most part, it's not instantly. So a project is something we see through to the end. And your project isn't done until it's done, so to speak, or until it's completed. So whereas manifesting, when we think of manifesting, we often just do the thing and then we don't pay any more attention to it. And so I've continued to reframe in my own thinking the term manifesting in this way of considering it to be projects, because very often, if the thing we're trying to manifest doesn't show up easily or right away, then either we feel like a failure or we've completely forgotten about it, And so we often sit down and meditate. We write our affirmation. We say it once or twice. We give it attention for a short period of time. And then we move on because it's not working. It didn't happen. It didn't show up in the material world. And so we haven't really put the energy into it. We haven't put the continued intention of what it is that we're doing. So to say I'm working on a project, it shifts the notion to what we're doing, and it feels more manageable, like this manageable idea. I'm working on a project to manifest a car. I mean, we can still use the words together, right? So we're working on a project, and we keep focusing on it, just like we do any project that we're working on for fixing a fence or building something or creating something. It's a project, and we keep going back to it. We put the energy and attention into it till it's complete. And by thinking of it, in my mind anyway, and thinking of it as a project, then we have a progression of steps. And we continue the relationship. And in this realm and in this context, we continue the relationship with our spirit helpers. And we keep going back to that relationship. Okay, guys, what's next? Lead me to the next thing. Lead me. What's the next inspiration? And it supports, I should say, the statement, I'll do my part. Show me and I'll do my part. When we're working on a project and we come up to a situation where it's like, well, now I'm not sure where to go from here, we do our research, we change our strategy, we pull in another tool or whatever. And so our manifestations, our attention setting, our goals really should be treated in the same manner in order to have the outcome that we want. So I know in one way of working with manifestation is to just say it, put it out there, and then forget it. There are some teachings around that. Just say it, put it out, walk away, and forget it. And just have faith that it's going to happen. And that works sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't. And there's some instances where that's probably exactly the right thing. But for the most part, I think this other way of thinking of it as a project might garner a little more success for us, or a higher level of success. So most often a goal is something that takes more energy, and we have to follow hunches, we have to follow a lead, we have to be proactive in it. It's a journey. It's really a journey. So the other night I had a dream. This is during the Lionsgate. I had a dream, and I was at this house and I was looking into the lean-to on the side of the house. And as I'm looking into it, I see all this furniture in there. It's been there a long time, this furniture in this lean-to. And the longer I looked at it, the blacker the furniture got from dirt and years of sitting there. And I knew these items were mine, and I needed to clean them out and let that go. All that stuff needed to be cleaned out and let go. So in my rational mind, those items are a metaphor for what is in my field, in my auric field, or in my thinking. It's bogging me down energetically. And it was being shown to me in a dream because it's time to work on it. Usually when things start showing up, it's like Spirit says, you're ready. It's time now to start doing this. You're ready for it. So I took that as a project that I needed to do. So on Friday evening, I went to Jerry's sacred sound bath, and I remembered my dream. And so I used that opportunity to work on my project of cleaning out this lean-to and getting rid of the stuff in there. Because even though it's a metaphor, you still have to do the work, right? So I'm taking a piece of furniture and out and trying to throw it away, and every time I turn around, it's back. It's like, you know how dreams are. And it's back. It's like, well, this isn't working. So now what do I do? How do I release this when I'm obviously not willing to actually release it? But I need to. So I changed my strategy, and I thought, well, what if I sell it? So in my meditation, laying there on the floor, listening to this beautiful sound, I put price tags on all the furniture. And pretty soon they were being sold. And I thought, well, this is great because somebody else will value it, because the things that I was holding on to aren't trash. They were a part of my life, even though that's just a metaphor. Whatever it is that was in there was something that was important to me at one point in time. And it's not trash. So I couldn't release it as trash. And so I released it through transformation. I was able to put a price tag on it in my my imagination. I sold it. It sold like hotcakes, as they would say. And I had a bundle full of money in my hand.
Always good.
Well, that's transformation. So I transformed the furniture that was represented stuff bogging me down in my energetic field to currency, flow. And that's what money is. It's just currency. It's flow. So I had this opportunity to unburden my energetic body and embrace the flow. And I realized, that's really what's happening. It's transformation. And the currency that came to me energetically has always been there. It's part of the universe. The universe has all that currency, that flow available to everybody. The divine light, the abundance of the universe is always there. It was me who blocked it because of what I was holding on to in my energetic body. I didn't know it till it showed up in a dream, but it showed up because it was time to release it. So it was me that was blocking it. And in this case, the block was represented by furniture. But it could have been stories. It could have been old beliefs. It could have been outdated values that I was holding on to that were my blocks and barriers to the currency, to the flow of the universe. And when I found a way to transform these things, the blocks then allowed the flow to come to me, the flow that was always there. So I was listening to some information the other day, and they were telling a story about an old woman who lived in the city, and she lived in this teeny tiny apartment. And she was very, very poor, and she would go out daily and beg for money to support herself. And she barely had the necessities in her apartment. Her clothes were very tattered and old. And this went on for years. Well, after a period of time, her neighbors noticed that she wasn't coming out. And so this is a true story, actually. It's not a made up story. It's a true story. So her neighbors called to make a wellness check on her. So they came and did a wellness check on her and found that she had died. And in the process of going through her apartment, trying to investigate, what happened, she died of starvation. But they found two keys. They found two keys in her apartments, and they were keys to safety deposit boxes. So with a search warrant, they were able to go into her safety deposit boxes and see what was in there. And in there were huge bundles of money, $4 million worth plus, in her safety deposit boxes. The authorities tracked down a distant niece that she had, and she inherited all that money because that was the only relative she had. So it's a great example, a beautiful example of how profoundly we become what we believe. And it didn't matter how much money she had. She believed she was poor. She believed she was in poverty. And so her world lived like that. Her consciousness lived like that. And she just had this green stuff that she begged off the streets and put it in a box and lived as a pauper, It's powerful. That's how powerful it is. So where in us is that strong belief about something that we can't see any other way? We can't see for ourselves what we really have. We all have that somewhere. We have that blind spot that we're attached to something, a belief, a story, a thing, who knows what. Others might see our abundance. Others might see our potential. Others might see our talent. But if we don't see it, it's not going to show up for us. We have to see it and believe it for ourselves. We have to know it. Otherwise, we're going to continue to live a life of deprived of that which we can't see, even though others can see it. How often have we had people say, "Oh my God, you do that so well," and we go, "Ah, no," and we discount it. We don't believe it. We don't see it for ourselves, or we're too afraid of being ego or arrogant, and we don't claim it. So we live a life of deprived from that which is our best self. So Source does not selectively choose who gets to be abundant. The flow or the currency of abundance is available for everyone in like kind, always, everywhere. And that universe is unconditional. During this time of the Lion's Gate, and any time, all the time, anytime, all the time, we need to align ourselves with the outcome of our goals, to make our goal a project, to get clear about what our project is. And from my experience, that's sometimes the hardest step, is getting clear what we really want. What's our real goal? And it's hard sometimes. It's hard for me to focus on that. Well, if I was to draw a really clear picture about what I want, what would it look like? It's like, I don't know. Um, but we all know that we want something better. So our life might not be working for us in some way, but we don't really know what we want or how we want it to be expressed. The thing that we do in that situation, or that I attempt to do, is to go higher. Go higher. What does that mean? And what does it mean to go higher? If you're having a hard time with someone that you work with, perhaps, as an example, and you're unclear about how to solve the problem outside of wishing that person would just leave, or how to get revenge, or all of those other things that we could be doing. How do we go higher? Well, go higher to the outcome of what you want. The outcome of what you want is a better relationship. You want a better working relationship. So focus on that as your goal, not the person. Go higher. What's the outcome that you want to have? If you're looking for love, and a love relationship, for love in your life, and you just don't want to be lonely anymore, perhaps. Don't focus on somebody not making you lonely anymore. Go higher. What is the real outcome that you want? You want somebody that sees your worth. You want somebody that you can have intimate conversations with understanding and compassion. You want somebody that doesn't have judgment about your shortcomings. Go higher in that regard, instead of just, I'm so lonely, I want somebody in my life, and you're just going to get somebody that's going to entertain you or bring all kinds of havoc in your life, because you're not lonely anymore. True. Life is full of drama. Ooh. So who doesn't want financial abundance? Maybe that's the thing. I know, me too. So make your project about the outcome of financial abundance. And what is that outcome? For most of us, it means freedom. It means not freedom from financial concerns, but freedom with financial abundance. You don't want to lose all your money and say, yep, you're free. Aren't you happy now? Yeah. You got what you wished for, with financial support and financial abundance. Maybe you want a new car, so focus on the new car. Maybe you want better living conditions. It couldn't go on and on. What is the outcome? Go higher. What's the outcome of what you want? The universe wants you to have it all. The universe wants every one of us to be outrageously abundant. However, I had a friend of mine, we were talking the other day, and she's working on these projects and programs. And these programs are wonderful programs. And it's beautiful spiritual work that she's doing. And the world needs what she's creating. But she was pining for and wishing that the universe would provide her with greater financial abundance. And she was going on and on about it. And I asked her, I said, if you had lots of money right now, right this minute, if the universe provided you with thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, would you keep doing your work? Would you keep developing your programs? Would you keep doing this work that the world needs? Or would you kick back and take it easy? She said, swear word. She looked at me and she swore and she said, you're right, I would take it easy. So the universe isn't going to give her financial abundance, because the universe needs what she has, what she's creating. And she would just kick back and take it easy and take a breather for how long? Once we take a breather, how long does that last? We kind of get used to the easy life. She wouldn't be doing her work. So that is a different way to look at it as well. So the universe just continues to allow her to make just enough money to pay for her living expenses. She's not hungry and she's not homeless by any means. She's comfortable. But that's it. Comfortable. So that she'll keep doing her work, because the world needs it. And so that can be a factor in there too. So that begs the question, if you had an abundance of money, what would you be doing? Would you continue to be of service to others? Or would you be off, on some cruise ship eating way too much food and too many drinks? Would your service of heart continue to be in a humble way for others? Would you be available? Or what would you do with it? That can be a factor in how the universe provides as well. So that's something to think about. Would you continue your spiritual growth? Or would you kick back and think, I've made it, so now I can just eat bonbons on the seashore? So who would you become if you had it? 70% of lottery winners file bankruptcy within 3 to 5 years. So it's not the recipe for happiness. And if you have a service heart, a heart of service, and money, the abundance of money should be to support the greater good of all, the greater good of the whole. I've got a friend that she has it all mapped out. Our friend, she has it all mapped out that if she wins the lottery, whose mortgages she's going to pay, so that everybody has home security, and it's like, that's beautiful. She deserves to win it. I would want her to win it because I'm on the list. That's right. But that's a true service, heart of service there. And that's where we want to stay. So that's where our spiritual integrity and our deep relationship with God comes into play. How solid are you in your integrity and in your relationship with Source? Do you want the universe to give you more? And could you handle it if they gave you more? That's a big question. What in your value system, and what is in your value system to support that? And do you know yourself? And do you want to see, what do you want to see in the world? How do you want to present yourself into the world in that outrageous abundance that the universe is holding there, or providing for us at all times, if we could just step into the flow and into the currency? So those are deep questions that I would hope that maybe this week you would explore with yourself and be in alignment with those beautiful features of abundance that the universe has for us. We have to just align ourselves with it, and it'll be there. So let's do a little affirming meditation. Close your eyes, get yourself comfortable, drop into your heart, and just kind of make a commitment that in the next 2 weeks, that every day you're going to take a few moments to align your heart and your mind with the light of the Creator. During this time of the Lion's Gate, we're going to just work on our alignment of our mind and our heart and the light of the Creator, the light of God, the light of Source. And let us shift our focus to receiving and giving as we trace the infinity sign in our mind's eye. See that infinity sign and just trace it with your mind's eye. Feel the flow of the give and the take, the receiving and the giving, the in and the out. And in your alignment with the Creator, what are you going to receive and what are you going to bring to the world? Knowing that you have the power to have this alignment. And what are you going to give? And what are you going to receive? What does your best self do? What is your highest expression in service? What does your best self look like in the world? And as your best self, what is in your heart? Feel the light of the Creator in your heart. Let it become brilliant and white and light and energized. Feel the alignment with your higher self. And if there are any blocks or barriers to that light, transform it now into the flow. Just releasing it ever so easily and gently into the flow of the universe to be transformed. And embody the qualities of the Creator. Embody the love, the generosity, the service to others, the non-judgment, compassion, and so much more. Expand your light, allowing the beautiful flow of the universe to move through you and become you. And live from this place and see what happens. And so it is. All right. Guys back? All right. So we're going to do the offering for the home center, the gift for the home center. All right. So let's put our gift between our hands. And with a deep sense of gratitude, knowing that we are already abundant, we are already in the flow of the universe, just feel that flow coming through you, knowing it blesses the home center in all ways. And we receive it with an open and a grateful heart. We see it coming back to you multiplied 100-fold for all of your wants and needs and desires that are going to serve your highest and your greatest good. And let that be our truth. Amen. All right. I'm going to have Jennifer come up for a little inspirational story and a closing prayer.
Okay, so as the basket goes around, we also have PayPal online. But I thought I would share just a little funny. So a spiritual seeker buys a new GPS for her car. She turns it on and hears a calm, soothing voice, and it says, "In 300 feet, turn inward." She blinks like, "Wait, what?" The GPS continues, "Merge with your higher self. Then, at the next intersection, release attachment to outcomes." Frustrated, she yells, "I just want to go to the grocery store." And the GPS replies, "You've already have everything you need." I think I would like my GPS to be that way sometimes. I invite you to join me in our closing prayer. We give thanks for our time together. We're grateful for our loving community and this beautiful space, the Home Spiritual Center, that was created and continues to be maintained for us. May the harmony we create here ripple into our homes, our communities, and out in the world. As we leave this sacred space, may we carry the light of love forward with open hearts, gentle words, and mindful presence. We are one, we are blessed, we are guided, and so it is. Amen. And before we close the broadcast, just a quick reminder, our Mind, Body, Spirit Fair is August 23rd from 11 to 5, and that is free admission, free parking. We do ask some folks to park down at MAPS, but it is a wonderful event. I don't know how many vendors are here.
We got 26 or so right now.
Almost 30 vendors, so nice and full. So there's all kinds of metaphysical happenings. So there's cards and readers, intuitives, maybe iridology.
Yep.
Iridology.
Photography.
Aura photography. Oh. Yep. We'll have sound and Reiki, all kinds of things. So come, lots of spiritual tools. I think there'll be crystals and jewelry and all those beautiful things. So join us. And so with that, we close our broadcast. Thank you for being with us. From our heart to yours, be well.